Road Trip, Chapter 2, The Sucker Punch. Dad hops in the driver's seat after stowing supplies in the back seat of the cab. Instead of roaring out of the parking lot to hit the highway, he turns to face me and clears his throat. "Ben," he says in a voice that I don't recognize, and that makes me a little sick at my stomach. "I have something to tell you." "Uh-huh," I nod, though I'm sure something really bad is about to be dumped on me. Good news never needs that serious tone. "I quit my job yesterday." It's funny how 5 little words can make you go numb all over. I hold my breath, waiting for him to continue, and, I hope, get to the good part. I can't continue existing as a soulless, mid-level corporate drone. He talks like he thinks I'll understand. "Well, no, I guess that's not right," I say cautiously. I was suffocating behind a desk. This is news to me, but I nod as if I get where he's going. I needed to get out into the real world and start working with my hands. "Uh-huh. I've started my own business." "You did?" I struggle to remember exactly what it is Dad does for a living. Weird how you really never pay attention to those things like that, isn't it? He's a vice president in charge of something for an insurance company. Mutual Fidelity Unlimited. I know that much because of all the pins lying around our house with the company name on them. "Yes, flipping houses." "Excuse me?" I look at the clock again. 5:47 a.m. This is pretty big change to take in before 5 or 6 in the morning. Has so much news ever come my way in such a short amount of time? We're going on a road trip and getting a new dog. Dad has quit his job and is starting a new business called flipping. I'm a little dizzy and glad I'm sitting down. Buy low, renovate, sell high. It's a no-brainer. "Oh," I think. "You're going to remodel houses like that TV show?" That is so scary. Dad can fix or build anything, but he's not good at finishing it. I flash onto our garage, which is packed with half-completed projects. Mom and Dad have to park in the driveway. Not remodel, renovate. Oh, what's the difference? Civic responsibility and making the world a better place, one crummy neighborhood at a time. The plan is I'll go into a rundown area, buy a house in rough shape. After I renovate it, not only will I provide some family a top-of-the-line new home and make a profit, but I'll have raised the market value of an entire neighborhood at the same time. What do you mean, crummy neighborhood? I bought our first place over on 15th and Humboldt. You bought a crack house? I know that intersection from the news. A police car crashed through the wall during a drug raid. We bought a crack house, Dad beams. Duffy and Son, that's our company name. Nice, right? Oh, and for legal purposes, it's a former alleged crack house. Well, that makes all the difference, I say, rolling my eyes, and wait just a minute here. You already bought it? I had to move fast to get it. Yeah, I bet former alleged crack houses are very popular. Dad always thinks everything needs to happen fast. Well, I was sure you'd be more excited about this. I was counting on your support. Fat chance. Does Mom know? Of course. And she's not happy. Define not happy. Your mother's problem is that she's looking at this from the wrong angle, son. What's the angle she should be looking at it from? I hope he tells me something amazing enough to make this rising panic go away. That this is the start of a brand new chapter in our lives. I feel worse. He is delusional. Good chapters hardly ever start with houses where drugs have been sold, I point out. That's what makes this so cool. It's completely unexpected. Well, we can finally agree on something. The future is ours, Ben. There's no limit to what we can do with this opportunity. Where'd you get the money? The other day, Mom said we couldn't stretch the budget to afford a new laptop I want. Lately, we've been eating more leftovers, and she runs around turning off all the lights in the empty rooms. She's been talking to Dad about bills over dinner, but he puts her off. They don't think I notice that he's been sleeping in the guest room lately. Dad's phone rings. He looks down and tilts it towards me so I can see Mom's picture and a phone number on his screen. The second he hits the answer button, I hear her. "Getting ahead of yourself. Wish you would have told me first." Dad shrugs and starts to get out of the truck to take the call. But before he shuts the door, I hear her tell him, "We'll work it out." I wonder if Mom's stomach is as jumpy and tight as mine. Okay, I never gave much thought to what Dad did for a living or whether it made him happy. Still, the fact that he quit his job and bought a crack house to fix up is just a little terrifying and kind of selfish. I watch him pacing in the Colonial Munchies parking lot, phone to his ear. He's doing a whole lot of listening. When he catches my eye, he makes his right hand into a beak and taps his fingers and thumb together so I understand. Mom is talking his ear off. He gestures at me to take the phone. I shake my head. No way am I getting in the middle, even though I'm curious to hear what she has to say. I grab a half-eaten bag of red licorice from the dash, and Atticus and I share breakfast while we wait for our folks to start figuring this out. I adjust the radio to the news station. We listen to international events. Same old. Economic sanctions, military invasions, overthrown governments. By comparison, our day is relatively peaceful. It's all a matter of perspective, I explained to Atticus. He yawns and looks unimpressively by my wisdom. Yeah, you're right, I admit. When you have to compare your day to wars and market collapses in order to find an upside, you aren't in good shape. We each chew another piece of licorice and watch Dad head back to the truck. He climbs into the cab, a big phony grin pasted on. She thinks this road trip's a good idea. Sure she does. Mom likes her space when she's mad, and I bet she is mad enough to hope that Dad stays on the road all summer. I'm a little surprised that she didn't insist he bring me home. Even for Dad, this business idea and sudden trip is really off the rails. One more thing, Dad says in the voice that makes my stomach do that alley-oop thing. I wish I hadn't just scarfed all that licorice. I might spew it all over the inside of the windshield, depending on what he says. We're going to have to live close to the bone for a while until the profits start flowing in. And this affects me how is what I'm thinking, but that's way too selfish to say. We might have to cancel the hockey camp next month. He did not just say that. We have been talking about hockey camp since I was 5 years old and got my first pair of skates. I'm finally good enough to hold my own with the older players on the A squad, and I'm pulling straight A's all year. That was the deal. And when I turn 14, if I get the grades, then I can go to hockey camp for 6 weeks. I know you're bummed, and it kills me to even think that I might have to let you down. But for this time being, even with your mom working and me putting everything I've got into this new business to make it a success, there's a possibility that I might not have the cash in time to send you. Mom would never let me down like this. What did she say about hockey camp? She agrees that we can't afford it right now. So neither of you care that I killed myself to get those grades for nothing? No wonder Mom didn't make me come back home. She didn't want to face me after breaking her promise. You have to look at it from the bright side. There's still a chance that everything will work out. How big a chance? Dad ignores my question. And it's definite that you can go next summer. You'll be able to go every summer once the business starts turning a kind of profit that I know it will. Our deal was this summer. Even I could hear how whiny I sound. Too bad. Dad deserves it. You'll work with me. It'll be great. No one else you know is going into business renovating homes with their dad. I don't build houses. I play hockey. That's why we're going on this trip, to spend some quality time, talk about the business, and get you a dog. You think a dog is going to make me happy and make up for missing hockey camp? A dog makes up for everything. Not even close. I feel disloyal to Atticus saying that, but I've never felt so resentful. Atticus, who's sitting between Dad and me, is looking back and forth as we speak. He can tell something bad is happening. His ears are back and he's panting a little. Dad's still talking, but I've stopped listening. I'm so mad. The ice is the only place I feel comfortable, and my teammates, well, they're my best friends. They're all going to camp. The summer is going to be miserable and lonesome. Nothing to do, no one to hang out with. Dad's voice changes and I start listening again. I hate to say it, Ben, but I'm a little disappointed in your attitude. You're disappointed? That's rich. My parents double-cross me and he criticizes me for being bitter. Before I can ask him how I'm supposed to tell my team that I'm not going to camp with them, like I said, Mom calls. Again. This time he waits until he gets out of the truck and shuts the door before he answers. Man, this trip, it stinks like rotten eggs and untreated sewage and a little green olive with the red thing stuffed inside. The last thing I want to do is be stuck in this pickup with my dad for 2 days. But watching him talk to Mom on the phone, I realize that I'd be more miserable at home with her because she is mad at Dad and she's worried about money, and that would make me paint the garage. At least I'll get my own border collie if I go with Dad. I've been wanting that, a dog that belongs to just me, for a long time. I have a list of possible names. Zuboni, Puke, Karam, Stanley, and nothing says I have to talk to him or listen to him tell me about the business. I'll go, but I won't like it. No reason to be at my best behavior if hockey camp is out of the picture. And no matter how many maybes or mights he throws in my way, my gut tells me that I'm not going. I glance out the window and snap a picture of Dad talking on the phone. I might as well photograph all the elements of this trip. When I see the clerk from the store come out to grab a smoke, he looks kind of rough around the edges like Theo. Theo? Perfect. Atticus. I'm glad the boss and my boy are finally talking, but I don't think my boy wants to talk to the boss anymore. Then it will be too quiet in the truck and the boss will play outlaw country music on the radio loud and my ears will hurt. It's better when they talk. Talking's always a good thing. Even the new house is a good thing. I saw the house the boss bought, and I saw the way his eyes smiled and his shoulders lifted when he walked through it. I don't know why he didn't try harder to tell my boy that he bought a house 3 months ago, or that he worked on it at night and on the weekends, and it's for sale and there's an offer already. The boss can't stand sitting around waiting to see if it works out, and that's why we're going on the trip. The boy didn't even notice that the boss was always gone and always tired. I noticed.